Well, we're live, and here we are. Welcome to it. This is the pre-show to the INDEE event. This is the official one. There you guys go. July 10th through the 12th. We got a lot to talk about. Would not have been possible if not for the efforts of Geek Insider and Meredith Loughran, who took the idea. And here we are. Welcome to it. I'm hearing myself somewhere.
I don't think it's me because I have my earbuds in.
Me. I was sharing out the link for everyone.
I need another me. That's what but I don't think I would like me all that much.
Me and him would have to separate time zones. He'd have to take the night shift. I'd have to take the day shift.
Exactly, because I don't think I would like that too much.
And we've gotten a lot done in a short period. This was all put together in 2 weeks. It's not going to be perfect. It might be the first time we do something. Matthew from Geek Insider is actually with us, so I'm going to add him to the stream.
Hey guys.
Hey. So I just wanted to say that welcome to iNDEEvent. This live streaming event is really for the community. It is bringing us all together, all of our different shows across multiple platforms. We've got Indie Vault Radio. We've got Comic Book Advocates Network, Geek Insiders here. I represent Wild One Forever. I mean, I know I'm missing a ton. And we have people who are representing their shows like Silverline COMiX. We've got Golden Kid Comics. We've got Phantasmagoria coming up through this weekend. I mean, there's just so much. And it's not an ego trip for any one of us. We each have a spot. Some of us have moved our shows to this event just so that we could be part of this networking opportunity. That's how I see it. I don't know, Rob, how do you see it? Do you see it as more of a networking opportunity or is it more entertainment?
Why can't it be all? Why can't it all be all of the above? You know, we're bringing talented people together. No one's putting a stamp on this. This isn't the normal con. I hate when people call this a con because every online con, I think, has missed the mark. And it's because, and I didn't realize this about Geek Insider, you guys never called yourselves a con or a Comic Con, which is and I've always said my favorite one so far was what you guys did with Geek Insider because that felt the most genuine. That CyberCon was a great idea that just was like, I'm trying to put it politically nice, politically correct.
It was very busy.
Yes, it was entertainment vomit. There was just too much going on, no focus, but everyone had to stop and talk about CyberCon. We don't want you to do that. Don't talk about this. This is an event you're part of. The only thing that I think Meredith asked was that you're mindful on the pass off. So if you're scheduled for 1 hour, but you want to go an extra hour, go an extra hour. But pass the potato. Hey, my time is up for the iNDEEvent slot. I'm going to continue my show. Please go join Matthew. He's doing, what is it, Geeky, Cheeky, and Freaky.
Right, Freaky.
I couldn't forget the Freaky. That was the one I was hoping I got. I knew I was going to get right. So pass it to him. Say his show starts now. Come back and watch this in the rerun. Or if you're my fan base and you want to stay with me when this show's over, please go over there. That's it. And you had to put iNDEEvent in the title. That's it. This isn't about anyone's ego in this one. And that's what I like about this. And it wasn't that way even with Geek Insider's thing. It was a very cool, nonchalant, apparently sticky notes event. So
I was actually raising my hand.
Oh, yeah. Explain that, please.
Well, okay. So here's the thing. When you are using Restream or StreamYard or whatever streaming event or streaming service that you want to do, a lot of times when two people are talking, it voids out the noise. So one of the things for etiquette, just be mindful of your guests. Guests, be mindful of your moderator, or if you're hosting a panel and everything, one person at a time. That way you get the best quality. Make sure that you have your earbuds in so that you don't have the feedback. And I know that Rob, he is going to be essential in helping us get through and, fill in all the holes and stuff like that, moderating where he can, sharing it out. I will be doing that through the weekend as well. But etiquette, whether you have this or something, raise your hand. If that's all you've got, raise your hand. Let people know that, hey, I've got something to say at that moment. So if you wanted to piggyback off of a point or something like that, it just carries on the conversation. And that way it doesn't bother the listening experience. Matthew,
Good morning.
good morning.
I just crashed y'all's show. I was just coming in to hang out in the background. I was over hanging out with Brian K. Morris and Christian of the Traveling TARDIS, and was watching that show or listening and just getting some stuff done in the background. But just to piggyback off of what you guys were saying, we wanted to be different. We said in the first one, we're not trying to replace the brick and mortar cons, because hell, we love them. We wanted to accompany them or complement them, I should say. But of course, those are on hold right now. And then we saw, after we did our virtual con, we saw a lot that were cropping up with a con in their name, and they were charging people to show up, and they're trying to make a buck off of it. Rob has the indie advocate, title, but that's what we are as a whole on Geek Insiders. We're advocates for the indie artists and creators, whether they're, comic books or movies or writers or the cosplay, whatever the case may be, because we are the ones that bring entertainment to the masses, and especially in this time where mainstream is not able to produce the entertainment stuff that we're used to. So that's why we do what we're doing here. We don't charge anybody anything, and we're just here to have a good time. And so as you're tuning in, especially today as you're working and you're having to tune in and out, just throw out the hashtag of the hashtag iNDEEvent. Throw people the link to INDEEvent.com. Just help us get the word out. Y'all make sure that you subscribe to all the different channels of these folks that are joining together this weekend. And we've got a lot of special guests. We got some folks directors from Full Moon Features, The Deadly 10. We got almost 50% of the 10. And we've got other stuff as all weekend long. So just make sure that you, when you join us when you can, comment, throw stuff out there, especially when we have the special guests, and then just help us get the word out and have some fun. That's the big thing is, like Rob said, it's both. It is entertainment and a way for these indie artists to network. And that's exactly what Meredith and I wanted to do when we started talking about this. We've got something else planned later in the year. We'll talk more about that later. But anyway, that's it. That's what I wanted to say so far anyway.
Yeah, I mean, this is I probably could have been a lot more organized, and we would have had months and months of advanced planning had I not said Tampa Bay Comic Con's going to happen. We were supposed to be there this weekend. And so my plan was I was going to live stream from the event. I was going to meet up with Rob. We had the Terraform Comics group that, I was going to meet up with Eric and Rob and Luke. Myself, we were going to be there. And just a lot of the other creators in the Florida area. When Tampa Bay Comic Con canceled, I was like, shh. It's the early morning show, so I'm going to watch my language. But I really felt depressed. And it was the first time, really, because it was something in my head that I just knew it was going to happen. And I was watching the clock. And Rob had even said, I think it was maybe 2 weeks prior to the event, he says, if it doesn't cancel by X date, there's a good chance that'll happen. And then they canceled like the next day. And then we were scrambling. And I knew that we were planning on doing something like this. I'm the one that pulled the plug on it originally. So I feel a little bit like, all right, it could have been set up and we're going to be better prepared for the next one, which is going to be towards the end of the year. But I think in the short amount of time, the amount of creators that came together for this event and said, yeah, I want to be a part of it. Maybe they didn't have their own show. So we were able to put together some panels and some fun rooms. And I don't know if you guys have watched any of my shows, but I love to have more of a conversation. It's more of a round table discussion and not so much the interviews or, right. I'm not trying to get a gotcha moment from anybody. That's just my style when it comes to interviewing. Matthew and I, we've done a few shows together with Geek Speak, and, I'm in the background on his shows. But That's the thing. People will connect with people, and that's what we want to do. My people don't necessarily follow any of you.
Right.
And you, I'm not talking just Rob and Matthew. I'm talking about people on the internet. My network of people might be completely different from Rob's. But if Rob's viewers are watching me and they go, "Oh, I like her style. What is she up to?" and they're curious, they're going to hit the follow button and they're going to check me out. It's going to be the same thing with my audience going to Rob and Matthew's. And I don't advocate for follow because a lot of times you just get a lot of spammers and things like that who are just trying to pad their numbers. I'm looking for quality people. I'm looking for creators. And I do marketing things. I do social media. I do comic books. I do writing. I'm in a lot of different groups and a lot of different interests. So I don't expect that entire audience is going to say, "Hey, let's look at what Rob Anderson's up to."
Right.
But some of them might. And that's how we grow. It's organic growth.
Yeah.
And that's what I really hope to, people were asking, well, what's in it for me? Well, Rob, go ahead. I know that you have things to say about that.
Look, I mean, if you have the attitude of what's in it for me, you're missing the point. You're missing the point of all of this. This isn't about you. This is about entertaining the people stuck at home. And I got to give Meredith a lot of credit. I remember when Tampa Bay Comic-Con canceled. I damn near threw up. I was so mad and so upset. I remember I told everyone, I was like, I just need to unplug today. And then I realized what I was doing. I was ignoring what was going to be a huge problem. And I turned to Meredith and I said, "Meredith, you remember that thing you were going to do in July?" And she's like, "Yeah, what about it?" I was like, "How hard would it be to get it to be done that weekend of Tampa Bay?" And she's like, and I'm like, she's like, "I think we can do it." And I was like, "I'll help you the whole way." And she was like, "Okay." And let's do it. And I was like, cool. And then she did it, man. I mean, I've helped her a little bit, but it's been her. She had a computer fry out on her. And I mean, I kept bringing talent to her and just like, "Hey, can you fit these people? Hey, can you fit these people? What about these people?" And had Chuck just messaged me. He's like, "Is your banner upside down?" Meredith knows that I do this. So this is the banner to our site, and I'll bring it a little closer. For those wondering why the banner's actually upside down, it's purposefully. When you have your flag and you turn it upside down, it means we're in trouble. It means that country's in trouble. Right now, COMiX is in trouble. We are in trouble right now. That's the point of today's show, is that we're showing everyone that we're not lying down. Look, COMiX has a long history of us getting beat up to the point of extinction. And then we always come back. We've always come back. And this is that moment where we begin to stand up in the independent market. We invited everyone. We invited people I don't even like, but we invited them to make sure that they were welcome, because this is not about any one person. So what's in it for you? Nothing, because you're the wrong person to be part of this.
Exactly.
If that's your first question. So, and like Matthew said, so many of these cons have the same people in the front and center, and they're like, "Look at me, I'm popular." Me and Meredith don't want to be on half these shows that we're going to be on over the weekend, because we would have rathered someone else took that time spot. But we're going to be on it because we're going to make sure that we give everyone else an opportunity. That's what's wrong with you as a person when you always think about you first. Think about your fan base first. This is an opportunity to engage with your fan base. That's what's in it for you if I really have to say it out loud. And if that's not enough for you, then you don't belong here and you don't belong in our industry. Comic books have always been about the fans first. If you don't know that, now you do. Go home and think about that. We're not going to have anyone sitting here talking about how they're the worst thing I hate with these online cons is when people start going, "Well, no one else is doing what I'm doing." Geek Insider has been around, over a decade. Over a decade, Geek Insider has been doing geeky stuff. Comic Book Advocates for over 5 years has called themselves an online Comic-Con. That wasn't even when it started. Matthew might remember this. Meredith's a little younger than me and Matthew. Matthew, remember when AOL did try to do the online cons? Remember? Back in the day, the first thing they did back in the day was try to do online cons. This is not new. None of you have invented anything. And I'm being so good in the morning. You know how many curses haven't come out so far? But we really are striving to just entertain right now. And you have so many people, like Matthew said, "Oh, I'll charge you for your table. I'll charge you for your exposure. I'll charge the people coming in." you're making enemies of yourself. Because right now,
Yep.
people, they need something good in their life. Do you know how many people are suffering? How many people are out of work? Yes, some people are doing good. Some other people are feeling it. Cons bring in a lot of money. And you can tell right now, the people who relied on cons versus the people who just went to cons. Because the people who just went to cons, they're like, I'll be okay when 2021 comes off. And the people who relied on cons are like, so I'm getting an old fan. I'm going to do all these things with my shirt off. I'm going to do everything I can to survive the next year. Don't judge me. If I got to get on the pole, I'm going to get on the pole. So, you know, it is one of those moments right now. But you see that passion in creators not willing to just lie down and die. They're not doing the Marvel thing where they put the pencils down. A lot of credit to DC Comics and all the other comic brands who did not stop creating. And this is a moment where we all have to stand. There's not a lot of money right now. You got to understand that. The fan bases, they're suffering too. Give them free entertainment. Keep them entertained. The benefits will come in 2021. And like Meredith said, I don't do share for share. When people ask me, oh, if you like my page, I'll like your page. And I'll be like, I'll be honest with you, dude. I'm not trying to be rude. I don't do that. I'll look at your page, and if I like it, I'll like it. Feel free not to like my page. And they're like, I don't get why you're making this so hard. It's like Meredith said, I want to engage with people. I want to know who's really excited. I don't want free stuff. So this weekend, if you see someone you like, please subscribe. You should be subscribed to Geek Insider. I am. And I've been subscribed to them before I was working with them in these capacities because they have great articles. You should be subscribing to Brian K. Morris's Rising Tide Publications. He does great stuff, gives you great things. You should be subscribing to Chuck's Raw Reviews. You should be subscribing to Silverline and the things they're doing. That's the point. We're giving you things that you should subscribe to because they're quality things. And we're giving you new stuff. There are people here who have never done shows that me and Meredith are going to help kind of get the experience with. Matthew's got the Geeky, Cheeky, and Freaky show, which is awesome. If you're not watching it, does some great stuff. This is an opportunity for you as fans to also be exposed to things. But as creators, like Meredith said, we're networking. Go see who else is out there. I'm excited when we do something like this and I see new people and I'm like, ooh, new people, because I don't get to go to cons right now and meet the new people. I'm stuck here at home. I go to the left, there's no new creator. I go to the right, there's no new creator. So I need things like this. And also, you know, and I hate to say it, you're seeing something that's really good. You're seeing Geek Insider working with Terraform Comics, working with Comic Book Advocates, working with INDEEvent. By the way, INDEEvent, big help during this whole thing. They're bringing some great things. INDEEvent Radio's coming over. Rising Tide's coming over. You're seeing these sites, these groups working together. That's what we need more of because we don't really compete with each other. Each one of us has a unique thing. I love what Geek Insider does. I love what INDEEvent does. I don't see anyone as competition, and we've been lied to think we're competing with each other. We're not. All these shows are recorded. They can be played later. Nothing needs to be seen live. You can watch other shows as well. We're giving you the opportunity to see something that you might not normally see, and especially now, you don't get this experience. I think that the biggest show that's happened is like a few hundred people at a bingo hall, you know? This is your opportunity. We hope you come along with us. I'm so proud of Meredith and Matthew from Geek Insider and all they've done. Meredith for how she put this together and the work she does with Terraform, all the people involved. I mean, if we can, why don't we go over the actual schedule?
Yeah, and if you look at the site, Rob, you'll see that I updated it and I separated it by days. So it wasn't like the endless scroll.
I just hit refresh.
Meredith's dog is going to be famous.
I know if it's not a scratching dog, but you hear her drinking in the background. I have a camel dog. I swear to God, she's a camel.
But I wanted to jump in real quick before we go through the schedule here, just to let everybody have a little insight. The virtual con, we put that together, and Meredith did most of the grunt work within 2 weeks. We heard everything was shutting down. We wanted to do something special, and so we put all that together in 2 weeks. At that time, we went ahead and purchased the INDEEpendencecon.com. Well, virtual cons started getting a bad name, and so we didn't really want to use the con name. And Meredith had this INDEEvent, but we went back and forth. Meredith says she was responsible for canceling it at first, and that's not really true. I was prodding her going, we really don't want to do this, do we? Because we have a lot of stuff going on. We have other projects and then our podcasts and just running the sites. And so I was like, we really don't want to do this, do we? Because we were planning a whole week-long event and we were going to plan it out months in advance. We were going to have a big, long thing right after Independence Day. But it's just a lot of work. Well, then we came down, we had that for months, and it came down to it where once again, Meredith, this time she worked with Rob. She got this thing put together in a very short amount of time, about 2 weeks. Again, we're not letting that happen for the one towards the end of the year. We already own that domain as well. And so
don't let me do it, Matthew. Don't let me do it.
We are picking a date and then we are going for it. But anyway, I just wanted to give kudos to Meredith and thanks to Rob for all the hard work you guys have done on putting this together, getting the folks out here, because it really and truly, I mean, we were even asked by some people, well, are you going to pay me to show up? And then, of course, we didn't even just reply back to those folks. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to say, good job, Meredith, and thanks, Rob, on that. Exactly, Rob.
And we've got about 7 minutes before we pass the potato to a special edition of Nevermind the Furthermore with Brian K. Morris. So, Rob, I'm going to hand it over to you for the schedule of events today.
We've already had the Nevermind the Furthermore. You're part of the welcome to the iNDEEvent. Brian K. Morris gives us a very special Nevermind the Furthermore. I believe he's still branding it. That starts in just minutes. Then at 1 p.m., Meredith will be back on with No Signal COMiX with Kevin. How do you say his last name? You got it the other day.
Actually, that's a last-minute cancellation, so I have to pull that off the schedule.
Meredith and I'll be in there.
Yeah. Okay, so what do we have instead? So announce it now.
Matthew and I think, are going to be in there. We're just going to be BSing through the hour just so that we don't have dead air.
I'll come up with something.
Okay, good enough. So you guys are going to get a special thing. I'm sorry to see that something came up for NSC Live TV, but that's life. That's going to be part of this. Things are going to go.
I don't think you have the updated schedule because I had all the pretty stuff there. It should have been updated.
Let me see. I'll hit the update.
Hit refresh. Go up at the top. You see up at the top at the header, it says Friday.
Let me open these because I'm actually in the event section. Maybe that's why.
Yeah, there you go. So you can watch the playlist right from the website.
Okay, so this is the actual.
Yep. If you see, like in that video there, if you're going to be watching the replay, if you hit play there, but on the top right corner where it has like the hamburger board, if you hit that, you're going to see the whole playlist of what's happening. So as people are sending me their YouTube links, I'm adding it to the playlist in order so that we can watch.
How meta. We're watching ourselves.
Isn't that funny?
All right, so that's there. And of course, we got all this. Bleeding Fool will be here. Reserved. Okay, yeah, so this is updated. My apologies. I think the main room you had, the original event, didn't get updated. So if you do get a second, you might want to, if there's time, if you're not doing anything.
Yeah, because I don't have anything else.
Nothing going on today.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we have this will be the lunchtime. It's reserved. The table's reserved. 2 p.m. will be Silverline, a retrospect by Roland Mann. COMiX News Wire, that's going to be with me at 3 p.m., but it'll only go to 3:30 because at 3:30 I'm going to be passing it off to lunch hour with Christy Shin. At 4 p.m., the Comic Noob, the normal show that's every day at 4 p.m., will be there. Today's topic is chasing trends in comic books. Is it profitable or a waste of time? And if she needs anyone else, I can always jump in there for you. 5 p.m., The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. You saw Christian actually this morning on Nevermind the Furthermore's pre-show for this event. At 6 p.m., I'll be here with Mike, Todd, and Chris, and we're going to be talking to these two-time Eisner Award winners, and we're going to figure out what's going on. Randy Zimmerman will be stopping by as well, correct, Meredith?
Yes, he is. He's confirmed.
COMiX Nuts and Bolts at 7 p.m. The after hours begins with Rebels, Comics, and Gaming. Larry Higgins is going to have Tyler Carpenter. This is our first after hours. And at 8:01, COMiX Uno. They're at the same time. It happens. 2 great shows at the same time. Gives you choice. I mean, we have more than one network television, right? After 9 p.m., you're going to be able to do The Art of War. At 9:30, you could do J.D. Calderon's Talking to Rob. Rob, that's an amazing werewolf book going on right now. And after hours, Demon Phil is going to have special guests, founders of ClickCon. I don't even know what ClickCon is. So hopefully I have no comment because you're going to see what I have on Saturday. This is Saturday, starting 9 a.m., The Morning Nosh by Meredith. Loughran from Wild One Forever. 10 a.m. will be The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS by Christian Basil. 11 a.m. we'll have Pieces of Mealy by Melina Dean. Golden Kids Comics takes over with Dan Johnson at 12 p.m. 1 p.m. Guano Guy, Mark Durden. And Team Talk about Guano Guy and Geek Insiders. Matthew Harris will be there with Meredith Loughran. Silverline comes back for Here and Now at 2 p.m. with Roland Mann, and I'm sure some amazing guests. 3 p.m. we'll have a special clever title pending with Brian K. Morris. I think Carl Whitman is on that, he was saying today. I might be wrong. Check with that. We're going to either do 7 Reasons to Back It or the Kickstarter pause. We haven't decided yet. 4 p.m. I got to see how many new projects there are for it to make sense. But either way, you'll have something about crowdfunding at 4 p.m. on Saturday. 5 p.m. Chuck has. Go ahead, Meredith. How's it said?
Chuck's Rawversations.
Rawversations. All right. 6 p.m. We're gonna have Full Moon features in Deadly 10, and they're gonna be some great guests. John, Chris, and Lindsay's gonna be there, and then of course 7 p.m. is gonna have Geeky, Cheeky, and Downright Freaky. That's what I was missing. Downright Freaky. I knew there's the word. Matthew Harris is gonna be bringing it to you from Geek Insider. Then After Hours begins with INDEEvent Radio, and then at 9 p.m. The Indie Devil is going to call BS on online cons, and we're going to talk about how online cons have failed this community and this industry. That's right, it's an Arrow reference. Live with it. After that, we're going to have at 10 p.m. Russ Explodes. I know it sounds dirty, but it's just a show. And then at 11 p.m. we're going to have Demon Phil. Demon Phil's going to be doing something great. Then on Sunday, because it isn't ending, 9 a.m., we have, and look at all those amazing people being part of this Sunday event. We're going to have the Breakfast Buzz by Randy Zimmerman from IndieVolt Radio. 10 a.m. is so, and it's cool. IndieVolt starts and ends the show basically. And then at 10 a.m. we're going to have the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. 11 a.m. the Comics Newswire with me. I'm going to have some special guests. 12 p.m. the Terraform Comics. We're going to be talking about how we're changing the landscape of comics. That's going to have me, Meredith, Eric, Varian, Brian K. Morris, and Luke. I'm not sure Eric can make it. Stay tuned. Where he's trying to see if he can make it. Charting story and script writing by Michael Oden at 1 p.m. Promoting Your Peers at 2 p.m. with Ted Davies at 3 p.m. The Heroinberg Comics is going to have special guests. MT, Marcia, Marvin, and Benjamin. 4 p.m. I'm back on with Comic Book Advocates. We're going to be bringing you all the stuff to advocate for creators, including some interviews. 5 p.m. we'll have Marketing Your Books with special guests Travis Gibb and Meredith Loughran and more. 6 p.m. Pantsers and Planners. Bill McCormick, Gary Timber. Who's hosting that one?
I will be there. I'm basically taking up the author's block. So, but if there are people, there are plenty of seats. So if anybody wants to pop into any of those seats, if it seems relevant to the content that you write, whether it's comic books or regular books, let me know.
And then at 7 p.m. To self-publish or no, Carl Whitman, Teresa Dunn, Brian K. Morris, he'll host that. And Meredith, I guess you're on that one too. Phantasmagoria. Yeah, that's pretty cool. They do awesome stuff. They're actually bringing us, I believe they're bringing us some pre-tape stuff at 8 p.m., but it's going to be awesome. I've seen them put their shows together. I'm really excited about it. Geekgasm at 9 p.m. And then our after-hours show closing out the indie event might start at 10:30. We might let Geekgasm eat into it, and then we'll wrap up because I think Meredith's actually on Geekgasm that day. So we're going to have to wait for her. So we'll all just wait for her to finish, and then we'll go live. And we're going to talk about the craziness that was this, and we're going to have some great people on with us. It's going to be awesome. There's going to be cigars. There's going to be cigars, drinking. It's probably going to be X-rated by the time it's done. So that's... We do have to pass on Brian K. Morris. He's going to be going live right now. Thank you all for tuning into this preview of this crazy weekend. Remember to thank Meredith and Geek Insider and Matthew for helping us put this together and all the people who are doing their shows. This started 2 weeks ago yesterday. So 2 weeks ago on Thursday when Tampa Bay Comic-Con canceled, we started building this. We invited Tampa Bay. We never heard back from them. We invited many people, other cons. We opened the doors for everyone. So if they're not here, there's simple excuses. They didn't hear about it, which I doubt because so many of us have talked about. They decided not to be part of it. That's fine. You do you. Or 3, they are part of it. It's just that simple. So even if you want to be part of it now, we'll open the doors. Like Meredith says, every show will probably let just random people in. the Indie Devils show for the Devil's Advocate, that's going to have open seating. Anyone can come in and talk about online cons. Just understand, you're going to be in a room with the Indie Devil. He's going to have something to say back. Anything else, guys, before we pass it to Brian?
That's it. Brian K. Morris is next. And, you know, like I said, watch the playlist, share it, network. You don't have to do a follow for follow, but have fun. And if you like something, share it out with your friends.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks. We're out.